Hey guys, it's Miss Donna, and I just want to come and say hello to you guys. And following my video, you'll get to see Miss Brandy this week. We miss all you guys. We miss going to the daycare centers and the pre-K classes and seeing you guys in our office every week. So we hope you guys are all doing well. We hope you guys are listening to your parents and your grandparents and following instructions and reading books every day. So I'm going to give you guys a little housekeeping information about the schools. On Tuesday and Wednesday, Brandy and I will be calling you this week. If you heard from Brandy last week, you'll hear from me this week. We're trying not to bombard you with all the calls every week from both of us, so we're taking turns to talk with the families. But we share information at the end of the week about who we've talked to and what we've talked about, so each one of us are having information about families shared. Also, we will observe the Good Friday holiday this coming Friday and observe spring break next week. So you will not be getting phone calls or messages from Brandy and I Friday or next week. Nor will your older students be getting any phone calls or messages from those teachers next week. It is spring break. It's a time to just enjoy being a family and not have to worry about any schoolwork or any activities. But if you do need Brandy and I, you have our contact information, our emails, our home phone numbers, and our cell phones. Please don't hesitate if you feel like it's an emergency to give us a text, and we'll try to get you some information. Speaking of meals, this week in your bag, if you're getting the meals, on Thursday you will get 12 meals, a breakfast and lunch for 6 days of school, Friday and the 5 days of spring break. If you've not taken advantage of our meal program for our little kids, it might be worth taking advantage of the end of this week or in the future. Sometimes the little kids like to go out and see the bus, get the meal from the bus driver. It just breaks up the things you guys got going on at home and gives them an excitement to look forward to each week of having that bus visit your home, especially if they're in a daycare center or your home and they've never ridden a school bus or don't have any siblings that ride a school bus. You can take advantage of those on a daily basis, a couple of times a week, whatever works best for you and your family. If you'll just contact your local school that's in your district and let them know you'd like to get on board with that. If you don't have that contact information, give me and Brandy a text or an email and we'll get that information to you so that you can get lined up for meals. We hope you guys are enjoying the activities. We have worked really hard to make sure that you have 6 weeks worth of activities in the bag. So please don't feel like you had to do them all last week or this week. Spread them out, or if your child's enjoying them, feel free to do them. The biggest thing is spending time with them, talking to them using language, and just encouraging them in the environment you live in your home to count, identify colors, read a book every night. So coming up next is Brandy, and as you go through this week and you're getting ready to dye some Easter eggs, hopefully for Easter, she's going to tell you how that activity can meet a lot of educational and speech goals. Bye guys, talk to you soon.
Hi everyone, it's Miss Brandy. I just wanted to say hi today and to give you all some ideas on a way that you might can amp up your regular Easter egg dyeing activity this year with a few educational ideas and some ways to get a little bit more language and maybe throw in a couple things that you didn't even realize you could do to make your egg dyeing activity a little more exciting this year. One of the things that I thought about egg dyeing is that so many people do it. So it's one of those things that most of you probably planned on doing anyway this year. It's super cheap. You can get eggs fairly cheap right now, and I think they're pretty easy to come by. I know some things at the grocery store aren't, but I think they are. And you can get a kit real easily. And if you don't have a kit, something kind of similar to what I have right here, like this, if you don't have this with the directions on it, you can use like just regular food coloring at home, and you use your own cups. If it doesn't come with cups like mine did, you can use your own cups. It's one of those things that you can adapt any way you want to. But just a few ideas I wanted to give you. It's probably things you may have already thought about, or if you haven't thought about, they're real easy to incorporate when you start doing this activity with your kiddos. You'll want to make sure and go through all the steps and the directions and how to set it up. That's a big part, which sometimes we kind of leave the kids out of that step, but make sure you include the kids in that step where you're following the directions of getting out something to cover the table with. Make sure you get your cups out. You can talk about the colors while you're doing the cups even already. You'll have to do the steps of putting the little colored tabs in. Of course, again, talk about the colors. Talk about, as you're filling it up, some require vinegar, some don't. They all require maybe hot water, maybe some don't. So you can talk a lot about things like that, hot, cold. You can talk about empty and full without kids even realizing that they're learning something. The other thing you'll want to make sure you do is talk about the steps that it takes. Like the egg has to first be boiled and get hard, and you can talk about boiling eggs and that step. And then you'll talk about putting each egg in individually, and like how long we have to wait. The big thing that you can talk about when if you want to teach a new shape is you can talk about how the egg is shaped like an oval. And this is a perfect time to just kind of inundate them, for lack of a better word, with the word oval. This is an oval. Eggs are oval. Let's think of other things that are oval. So you're kind of going back and forth with the kids like that and kind of really, really driving home the oval shape. Easy, like I said, to drive home the idea of colors again. And then me, coming from the speech therapist standpoint, I would just like to make sure that you guys are just really, really, really going to town with lots of questions, lots of talking. And the questions can be simple, yes, no questions. They can be open-ended questions that maybe start with what, or they can be questions for these kids that we have that are more verbal. It can be questions where they really discuss with you. Why do you think these eggs change colors? You can get very involved in this, or you can make it as simple as you want it to be. Mostly, I just know it's a fun activity, but I want you all to feel good in knowing that if you do this fun activity this week, you can also know that you've checked some boxes for these kids' goals, for things they need to be working on this week, and then know that you're also having a good time. So that's what's so important to us. And listen, if you have any questions, please make sure you let us know. We can give you more tips on what to talk about when you're doing this. I was just going to check my list and make sure, but it looks like I've covered most of the things I want to make sure that you talk about when you're doing egg dyeing. And just have a good time and talk, enjoy this activity together, and I hope that you don't have big messes to clean up afterwards. Everybody take care, stay in touch with us. We'll hope to hear from you or talk with you sometime this week to see how this went or to see what your plans are for doing it. Okay, hope to see you soon. Bye.